Hello everyone, welcome in 11 CHE. Here we are with our 10 MCQ series and today we are going to discuss about mass transfer 10 MCQs and this is our part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, please watch because there I have covered basic questions of mass transfer and in this video I'll also cover the basic questions of mass transfer in the form of MCQ as well as some conceptual questions. So before starting the video, if you haven't joined Learn CHE YouTube channel, please subscribe it and press the bell icon so that you could get latest notification of our every video. If you haven't joined Learn CHE social media handles, you can join there as well as you can ask your any queries related to your study as well as topics. So let's jump into our first question. So here is our first question and the question says pick out the wrong statement here. Okay, so whenever you are solving the MCQ question, just remember that read the question more than one times, okay, and try to and make your habits that read the question at least two times. Okay, why? Because after reading question two times the question definitely keep in your mind and you will understand that what is asking in the question, and always try to keep in mind the important words and statement, like as here pick out the wrong statement. Okay, this word is very important. Suppose if there were the right statement then this question will be different, and right now here is wrong statement. Okay, so we have here four options and we have to select the wrong statement, right? So the first option is Serud number in the mass transfer is analogous to Nusselt number in heat transfer, right? So this is right statement. Why? Because we use Nusselt number in heat transfer to determine the heat transfer coefficient. Same Sherwood number we use in mass transfer to determine the mass transfer coefficient. So this is not our answer. Okay, and also try to eliminate the option. Okay, so why? Because it will increase your chance to get the right answer. Now here the D1 is Reynolds number remains same in both heat transfer and mass transfer. This is also the right option. Okay, because Reynolds number does not change with heat transfer and mass transfer, it remains same. Okay, so if we like suppose if we are talking about the analogous, so it will remain same, Reynolds number in heat transfer and Reynolds number in mass transfer. So this is also not our answer. Now we have two options B and C, right? So B, Prandtl number in heat transfer is analogous to Schmidt number in mass transfer. So this is also the right option, right? So now the remaining option is C, that is Reynolds number in mass transfer is analogous to Grashof number in heat transfer. As I told you in D option is that Reynolds number remains same in both mass transfer and heat transfer, so it will not be the analogous to Grashof number, right? So option C will be the right option and it will be our answer, and it will be wrong statement, right? Now the second question is capacity of a rotary drum depends on its. So what is rotary drum? So rotary drum is a, why we use rotary drum? To dry the solids, okay, to dry the wet solid, right? So keep in mind you have to dry solids, okay, that will be simply wet. Okay, so the capacity will depend on its RPM. Yeah, simply rotation per minute, it will definitely depend on RPM. Okay, because the capacity will definitely depend on rotation per minute. Okay, the second one is inclination with ground surface. Okay, it will also depends that how much inclined this is along with the ground, okay, along with this horizontal ground surface. So right answer will be option C, both A and B, right? Now here, before proceeding our third question, here is a question for you all, and the question is very simple, and the question says dash distillation is widely used when ordinary distillation methods are not effective for dead binary mixture. Okay, suppose if we have any binary mixture, and for dead binary mixture we cannot perform ordinary distillation. Okay, then which distillation we are going to use? You have to comment the right option, and here are the four options. In the four options, batch distillation, fractional distillation, azeotropic or extractive distillation, or flash distillation. You have to select your right option and also try to explain your explanation that why this is right option. Okay, now the third question is, mass transfer rate between two fluid phases does not necessarily depends upon the dash of the two phases. Okay, so we are talking about here mass transfer rate between two fluid phases does not necessarily depends upon the, and here are the four options. The first one is chemical properties, the second one is physical properties, the third one is degree of turbulence, and the fourth one is interfacial area, right? So what is mass transfer? Mass transfer is a unit operation, or we can say chemical operation, right? And unit operation, in unit operation there is no any chemical change. Okay, and in unit operation you will see only physical change, right? So we can conclude that mass transfer rate between two fluid phases does not necessarily depend upon the chemical properties of the two phases. Okay, it will definitely depend upon the physical properties, degree of turbulence, as well as interfacial area, but it will not necessarily depends upon the chemical properties of that two phases, right? Because of the definition of mass transfer, or we can say the unit operation. So this is the answer of our third question. Now the fourth question is the ratio of mass concentration of species A to the total mass density of the mixture is known as. Okay, always try to keep in mind the important keyword, and here the important keyword is mass concentration of species A to the total mass density of the mixture, right? So mass concentration of species A. Okay, suppose here the mass concentration of species A will be mass of species A divided by total volume, right? Divided by, because we are talking about the ratio, will be total mass density. So what will be the total mass density? That will be mass, total mass divided by volume, right? So if I'll cancel out V to V, then it will become MA by M, means the mass of A divided by total mass, and this will be our mass fraction. So the right option will be D. I hope you understood this, right? Now the fifth question is, a binary mixture of oxygen and nitrogen with partial pressure in the ratio of 0.21 and 0.79 is contained in a vessel at 300 Kelvin. If the total pressure of the mixture is 1 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square, that is total pressure, find molar concentration of the oxygen. Okay, so here what is given, that here is given that the partial pressure of oxygen to partial pressure of nitrogen. Okay, and it is given, and it is our 0.21 to 0.79. okay, so what will be the pressure, or we can say this is in the form of ratio, right? So, and we know that from the Dalton's law, the sum of the partial pressure is equal to total pressure. So we can simply write PO2 plus PN2 is equal to 1 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square, right? And here is 0.21 and here is 0.79, right? Suppose if I just write here 0.21 x plus 0.79x is equal to 1.1 into 10 the power 5 Newton per meter square, then what I can write? I can write x is equal to 1 into 10 the power 5 Newton per meter square, right? Because 9 and 1 10, and it will be 1. Okay, 1x is equal to this one. Okay, and now I have to calculate the partial pressure of oxygen, and it will be 1 into 0.21 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Okay, now what you can do, we have to find the molar concentration. Okay, so we know the ideal gas law, that is PV is equal to nRT, right? Molar concentration, so what we can do, P by RT is equal to N by V. Okay, so what is N? That is number of moles. What is V? V is a volume, and number of moles per unit volume will be called concentration or molar concentration, right? And here is the partial pressure. Okay, and the pressure of oxygen, that is given here 0.21 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. R we know, that is 8.31, and temperature, here is the temperature, that is 300 Kelvin. Please let me in the comments box what will be the right option here. Now the sixth question is, what is the unit of diffusion coefficient? Okay, the question is very simple. What is the unit of diffusion coefficient? And here are the four options. The first one is meter square, the second one is second, the third one is meter square second, and the fourth one is meter square per second. This question is very simple if you know the Fick's law. Okay, I'm not going to solve this question, and I will not tell you anything about this question. If you know the Fick's law, okay, from the Fick's law you can simply find out the diffusion coefficient, right? And the unit will be, what will be the unit? Please let me in the comments box. Also tell me that what is the analogous of diffusion coefficient in momentum transfer as well as in mass transfer. Okay, because I have given you the hint. If you know the Fick's law, if you know the basic equation of mass transfer, because that is basic equation of mass transfer, then you will solve this question. Now the seventh question is, what is the molecular weight of ammonia? So what is the formula of ammonia? The formula of ammonia is NH3, right? If we know the molecular weight, okay, and we can see the atomic weight of individual or the individual element, then we can simply find out the molecular weight. Okay, what is the meaning of molecular weight? Molecular weight means if we are calculating the weight of the molecule, okay, and this is a molecule, right? Suppose if suppose there is only hydrogen, then it will be the molecular weight of hydrogen. Okay, and if we are talking about O, then this is the atomic weight. Okay, because here is single element and here is the molecule. Same thing here. So now what you have to do, you have to simply write the atomic weight of nitrogen, that is 14, plus for hydrogen, that is 1 into 3. Why 3? Because here are the 3 mole of hydrogen. It will become approx 17. Okay, I am not writing the decimals value, so we can simply say the answer is C, that is 17.031 gram per mole. Okay, why gram per mole here? Because the definition of mole is given weight divided by molecular weight. Okay, and what we had to find here? We had to find here molecular weight. That's why the unit will be gram per mole. Okay, now the eighth question, that is dimension of diffusion coefficient is given by. Okay, if you have comments down the unit of diffusion coefficients, that's good. If not, then the unit of diffusion coefficient is meter square per second, right? So Now what you have to do, we have to simply write the dimension, right? So here are three, mainly we discuss three dimension, that is M, L and T, right? So this M denote kilogram, this L denote length and this T denote time. And here is the kilogram dimension is not there, okay? So I'll not write there. And there is the M. M is a unit of length. So simply L square divided by, that is a second. So I'll write here T. Okay. So how can I write it? I can write is L square by T minus 1. So the right option will be C. Oh, sorry. The right option will be B. Now the ninth question, and the ninth question is a reaction 3A plus 2B plus C is equal to 1.5D plus E occurs in a reactor at steady state, right? So what will be the value of the flux ratio Na by? So in that question, what you can do, you can simply find out Na by N. How? I am just telling you Na by Nd, right? You have to find Na by Nd. So what is Na? Suppose, okay, here is talking about the flux. So how can we find this question? We can simply find, just write the stoichiometric coefficient of that product of reactant, right? Suppose here it is talking about Na. Okay, so A is a reactant and the stoichiometric coefficient of that reactant is 3. Okay, 3 will be positive or negative? It will be negative. Why? Because it is going to disappear into the product, right? So I'll write here minus 3 divided by Nd, and the D is 1.5, and it will be positive or negative? It will be positive. Why? Because it is going to form, okay, and produce. So what will be the answer? The answer will be minus 2. Option A will be the right option. Okay, so these type of question you can solve like this. Now the 10th question, and very simple question, and the question is, which of the following is not a unit operation? So distillation, humidification, leaching and combustion. Okay, so combustion is not a unit operation, it is a unit process. Why? Because in combustion there is a chemical reaction involved, and that's why this is not a unit operation. Leaching, humidification and distillation, these are the chemical operation, or we can say unit operation, which mainly we study in a mass transfer, and this is our unit operation, right? I hope today we discussed about 10 MCQs of mass transfer and you understood every question. If you have doubt in any question, so you can let me in the comments box. I'll personally solve your question. If you have any doubt in any subjects, any topic, you can let me in the comments box. I'll make the separate video for you. So if you like that video, you can subscribe Learn CHE YouTube channel, and you can share this video with your friends and in your groups. So thank you for watching. See you soon.